welcome to Messy Church this month, and I've got a friend with me today who's called
Dylan.
This is Dylan, who's my next door neighbour, and he's come to help me get things ready for Messy Church, haven't you, Dylan? Right. So it's really lovely to have you with us at Messy Church. We're sorry that we've still got to do it from home, but hopefully we won't have to be staying in lockdown for too much longer, will we, Dylan?
After my birthday, birthday.
Yeah, soon it'll soon be your birthday in a couple of weeks, won't it? And hopefully then we'll be able to go out a bit more. But until then, we can still sing, and we're going to sing about God's lovely creation. We're going to sing Lovely Jubbly.
Lovely Jubbly.
Yeah, it's a great song, Lovely Jubbly.
He gave the mouse its squeak, sharks their teeth. He made legs that jump, gave camels the hump. He made the kangaroo and humans too. He even gave us lips so good for kissing. He made fish that fly, eyes that cry. He made birds that poo upon your shoe. He made whales that sing, bees that sting. He even gave the cat its furry bottom and its lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, what a wonderful God we have. Lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, He made it all, He made it all, He made it all. He made dogs that point, pigs that oink. He made dolphins smiles, crocodiles. He made a zillion things, fly with wings. He even gave us tongues so good for licking. He made things that scoot, things that hoot. He made some things smell not so well. He made the wind to blow, clouds to snow. He even made your knees that are so wobbly, and it's lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, what a wonderful God we have. Lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, He made it all, He made it all, He made it all, and it's lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, it's lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, it's lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, oh what a wonderful God we have. Lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, it's lovely jubbly. All of God's creation, He made it all, He made it all, He made it all. He made it all, He made it all, He made it all. He made it all, He made it all. He made it all.
What have we just done? We've been making something very special, haven't we?
Honey biscuits.
Honey biscuits, that's right. And what do we need for honey biscuits?
What's that one?
That's one. So well, let's start with the big thing, shall we? What did we put in first?
Sugar.
That's not the sugar, is it? What's that one?
Flour.
Flour, that's right. Plain flour.
Sugar.
Then the sugar, that's right. There was quite a lot of sugar, wasn't there?
And butter.
Butter.
And eggs. And ginger. And what's that one?
And that one is mixed spice. Can you
Mixed
remember?
spice,
It did
yes.
smell quite spicy. There was quite a lot of that, wasn't
I
there?
couldn't handle it.
No, that's right. So we put all that into a big bowl,
Yes, that.
and then what do we do with it?
We put it in our blender.
That's
And
right.
then we
So look, there's our honey biscuits dough there, Dylan. What was this runny stuff that we put in?
honey.
Honey, that's right. We've made honey biscuits. So
I did my finger in the honey.
You did, and was it nice and sweet?
Yes, nice and sweet, and it can make perfect biscuits for
Okay,
everyone.
well that's brilliant. So they're all mixed. We wrapped it up in cling film, didn't we? Once it had made a gooey dough together.
Yeah,
And then we put it in the fridge, didn't we, to have a rest.
and then we put it in the oven.
we are going to put it in the oven when we've rolled it out. So that's the bit we're going to do next, isn't it? So let's put the things away we don't need. Okay, so here's our dough that we made earlier, Dylan, didn't we? And we put it in the fridge to have a little rest.
Yes.
So let's just roll it in some flour.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's pom-pom.
Not too much. That's
No.
it. Okay, right, now I'm going to do some rolling. So can you do some rolling for us?
Whoa. Okay,
let's stop there for a minute and let's turn it over. Because it don't want to get too flat. Let's go that way a bit now, shall we?
Whoa.
Now we need to get it so it's about as thick as a
Whoa.
£1 coin. How thick do you think that is?
About as big as a penny.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think just a little bit more. Now the reason we're making these honey biscuits is because the story we're going to be looking at is about a place that was said to be flowing with milk and honey.
Pancakes.
It does sound like pancakes, doesn't it? But that sounds a bit sticky to me. But anyway, they had lots of milk and honey. Right, I think that's about right. What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah.
So what we need to do now is, and we're going to use a star cutter, because the people that went to this place that had milk and honey, God said there were going to be so many of them that it was like trying to count the stars in the sky. Have you ever tried to do that? It's a lot of stars, isn't there? So let's see how many we can get out. Great. Let's get the tray now. See if we can pick them up all right. Oh, that's looking good. Look at that one. That's good.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
And how you make it is you just do...
That's it. Press it down. And a little wiggle. I wonder if it will come up in the... That's it. See if you can give it a wiggle like that. That's it. Perfect. If you give it a little wiggle, it comes up with the cutter, doesn't it? That's all right. Look, you can put it back together and it's perfect. Marvellous. Look at that. It's perfect. So before we have our story, we're going to sing another song which is about creation, and we sang it in the garden last month, and it's called Every Blade of Grass.
What's Every Blade of Grass?
It's another really lovely song.
Every blade of grass, every sunset sky, every starry night, every mountain high, every single thing that your hands have made gives you glory, gives you glory, gives you praise. And I want to praise you too, for no one is as wonderful as you. And I want the world to see that the God of all creation is a friend to me. Every bird that sings, every shining seed, every blooming flower, every towering tree, every single thing that your hands have made gives you glory, gives you glory, gives you praise.
Right, today we're going to talk about a place called the Promised Land. Have you ever heard of that, Dylan? No? Well, the Promised Land was a special place where the people of God, all the Israelites, and that's all these people here, only there was a lot more of them than that, they had been promised that they could go to this land that was full of good things. It was a place where lots of lovely things grew in the ground. What sorts of things do you like that grow in the ground? What about grapes?
No.
Don't like grapes? Because they had a lot of grapes. And had olives. Do you like olives? No, they're probably not a very children thing, but I like olives. And they had lots of milk and honey. Lots of lovely things to eat. We like honey, don't we? Because we've just made our honey biscuits. But the children of Israel had to get there, and to get there they had to go across a big river. And they couldn't go round it, and they couldn't go under it. So they were going to have to, and they couldn't go over it because there was no bridge, so they were going to have to go...
Swimming.
They were going to have to go swimming through it, but it was too deep.
Yeah,
What were they going to do?
And it was really wavy, that could slip them and die.
Yeah, it could have got really wavy. And some of the children of Israel were very little, and the waves were bigger than they were. And they were very frightened about what they were going to do. And so they prayed about it, and God did something really, really amazing.
He made them fly.
No, he didn't make them fly, although that would have been another solution. He made a wind blow, and the River Jordan got very, very shallow and puddly, just at the point where they needed to go across. So instead of being big waves and very deep water, it went really, really shallow, and all they had to do was put their wellies on to get across. But some of them were still a bit frightened, and some of them were really happy. Some of them skipped across. They were really pleased to get in the Promised Land, and some of them were so happy they did roly-polies all the way across.
And some were even so happy that they just bombastic.
Yeah, they splashed across, but they all walked across, all through the shallow bit.
And the biggest
And
one
the biggest one,
was just walking really slow because it's
Yeah.
so big.
yeah. And
So
the
gators.
biggest one was Joshua. Joshua took them into the Promised Land. He was their leader. And once they got to the other side, what do you think they did?
Well, I think they did what God wanted to do.
Yeah, they did. Because they all said thank you to God. And they wanted to remember that God had given them a special place where they could cross the river. So what they did was they all went back into the river and picked up a stone. That's it. And they all pick up a stone. And they take a stone back with them. And they put all the stones...
One fell down.
Oh dear. You better pick up. You've lost one of your children of Israel.
Excuse me.
Okay, have you found an Israelite?
Yeah.
Well done.
It dropped the stone. I was getting on down.
Oh dear. They all put the stones on the ground and they all stood round them and they said, we are going to remember that God looked after us and helped us cross the river. And they all thanked God.
It's beeping.
Do you think that might mean our biscuits are ready? Let's have a look.
You open it. I'm not going to open it.
No, because it might be a bit hot, mightn't it? So stand back. Ooh, Dylan, they're looking good.
Oh, yeah.
Look at these. Don't touch because it's very, very hot. Wow. And these, wouldn't it be good if people could smell on Messy Church what these smell like? Do they smell nice?
Yeah, so nice.
So nice. Let's put that on there. Now don't touch because it's just come out the oven. It'll be very hot.
It's been breathing. That's those
They do
biscuits.
smell really nice. We'll have to try one in a minute, won't we?
Yeah.
When they've cooled down.
Yeah.
Mind you, don't touch the tray because that'd be really hot. So can you remember why I said we made them in star shapes?
Yeah, because God said it would take so long. That take so long for all the stars in the night for you to count at one night.
That's right. There was going to be so many Israelites that there was going to be more than all the stars in the sky. That's right. You remembered really well. So use it like a shovel. Ooh,
Is this just like a shovel?
it is like a shovel. That's it. So we've got all our lovely biscuits, haven't we, to remind us of all the lovely things that were in the promised
And
land.
we did the story.
And we did do the story. So shall we just say a quick prayer? Yeah?
What's a prayer?
Well, we're going to do one now. We're going to talk to Jesus. Dear Jesus, thank you that there are lots of good things in the world for us to taste and see, just like you had for the Israelites. And thank you for all the good things that you give us, like milk and honey and biscuits. And thank you for being at Messy Church today. Amen. We're going to end our Messy Church with a really good song called Give Me Oil in My Lamp. Do you know that one?
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow, it's a great one.
Haven't heard of it.
Wow, you might hear it now.
Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning. Give me oil in my lamp, I pray. Give me oil in my lamp, keep me burning. Keep me burning till the break of day.
Thank you for being with us at Messy Church today. We really hope next month we'll be able to do it in the garden face to face. But until then, we're going to say goodbye, aren't we, Dylan?
Bye bye!
Bye.